Yes, indeed. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What more can you say here, man? Oh, wait. Well, I know one thing we have to say. Big SILZ. Holy cow, man. Oh, my God. On full display last night was a loser effort. And I'm going to give it to you right here as good as I possibly can here. It was just absolutely embarrassing last night, all around last night at Wells Fargo. Between those Nick people coming down and swamping your Wells Fargo Center and making you look like assholes, it started there. It started there, and the will to win was not on display. Can I tell you who this guy, Joel Embiid, is, man? Honest to God, he puts up big numbers, but they're not winning numbers. We see that all the time. Look at A.J. Owens. Puts up big numbers. They're not winning numbers. Kirk Cousins puts up big numbers. They're not winning numbers. No one will ever confuse Joel Embiid on being Willis Reed. No one will ever do that. There's certain guys that are going to be leaders and take you across the finish line. A.J. Owens, big numbers. They're not winning numbers. Oh, my God, 304. You paid $180 million for Tobias Harris? Holy shit. What was that goose egg? That was embarrassing. Hey, let me put this out there to you also. End of the day here, one thing about Joel Embiid, Abdul-Jabbar was not a number one. He didn't win a title in Milwaukee without Oscar. He didn't win a title in Los Angeles without Magic. What in the world would make you think that Joel Embiid could lead the Sixers to a title? The process? Get this. Look at AJ. AJ is like, or LJ's like, AJ's one of the top 3 players in his position. Dude, Joel Embiid is the number 1 player at his position in the NBA, and he can't do it. How dare you not say Dak Prescott? The same thing, Dak Prescott, big numbers. Not winning numbers. Give me a break, dude. You know what was awesome last night? I will say this, and one thing that you can hang your hat on. Why did I feel like Villanova beat the Sixers last night? Why did I feel that they beat them? You know, that's probably, in my opinion, that's probably one of the best teams I've ever seen come out of New York that you can root for. Jalen Brunson, a second-round draft choice. That whole team was put together. Hey, Worldwide West, I sent him a text. And I told him, I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm watching, dude. The whole entire organization for the Knicks is absolutely going crazy. And yes, Worldwide West came on my radio show all the time. I've known him for 35 years. And he's a Philly guy. He's best friends with one of my teammates at the University of Miami. Known Worldwide West a long time. He refuses to do interviews. Except he used to do me before he got to CAA. Could not believe what he was watching last night. Unbelievable, man. Joel Embiid, like I said, no one's going to ever confuse him with Willis Reed. And look at dumbass LJ. Already, man, we're 8 minutes in comparing Robert Horry to anybody. Robert Horry was at the back of the bus. Never drove the bus. I'm talking about bus drivers, guy. Bus drivers. That guy's in the back of the bus. I'm not talking about guys who go for the ride for the rings. I'm talking about bus drivers. Got him. Hey, congratulations. I'm so happy to thrill you today, AJ. Got him. What the fuck does that mean? Got him. Congratulations. Pelt in your pocket. Way to go. 8 minutes in. Got him. Got him what? What? You could sit here for the next 3.5 hours defending a guy who leads like Jalen Hurts? Is that right? SILZ is mad? Yeah, look at this. Hey, Flexen, you should be mad. That owner wants you to pay for a brand new arena, and the centerpiece is a guy who can't get it done. And is a guy who sits there and bitches and moans about everything. He's the Kawhi Leonard of centers. Oh, my hamstring. Dude, this guy has menstrual cramps. I mean it. Take the skirt off, dude. Play some ball, man. Down the stretch when it matters. Win games. You know, the only center I've ever seen lead, he's not a one. He'll never be. The only guy I've ever seen at the 5 spot and at the pivot lead a team to an NBA championship is Olajuwon. Shaq couldn't. Jabbar couldn't. Robinson couldn't. Olajuwon did. Only guy I can think of that was a number one center. Well, Russell. Dude. Joel Embiid. You know, you go like this. And I hear people and I see people talking. He's the best. Again, shallow and hollow numbers. Hey, congratulations. When you get rid of Joel Embiid, you'll have a better basketball team and a better chance to win a championship. Guy's not a leader. He's not a leader. Hey, and to LJ's point, you're damn right. Kawhi doesn't really have to do anything. 65 ball games a year, collect his money. He's got his 2 rings. He don't need to do shit anymore. Kawhi Leonard's packed it in. His career's over. He don't care. He feels his legacy's set. That's why he doesn't give a shit whether he's on the floor or not. But see, that's why most NBA guys don't give a shit compared to NFL guys. You know why? Money's guaranteed. $250 million. They don't give a shit. They don't have to play 81 games. They play 6. You think it matters to Kawhi Leonard if he plays above 65 games so he could be on one of those all-NBA teams? Absolutely not. He doesn't give a shit about that. He cares about his extension, his money, and his legacy, which he thinks is already set, which is probably said. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Why should he play anymore? He's not looking to extend his legacy. Why? I'll be richer than any of those other guys like Robert Horry. Shaq led Kobe and Wade to be champion. Stop it. Yeah, correct. That's why those 2 guys won titles without him. Sure. Right. That's like trying to tell me Steph Curry was led by KD. Sure. Yeah. Right. What happened in Orlando when he got swept by Olajuwon? Yeah, that was 0-4, dude. In case you're keeping score. Where was Shaq there without Kobe? Where was he? Swept by Hakeem. And he went for 26 and 12. I covered the team. Where was he in Orlando when he got swept and abused by Olajuwon? Oh, you think I don't know that? Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Hakeem did the dream fadeaway on him, and she was over. He wasn't a rookie. That's another lie. He was not a rookie when they went to the finals and got swept. That's not true. Okay? Didn't Shaq have 3 finals MVPs? Yeah, with Kobe. Kobe won a title with Paul Gasol. Paul Gasol. Shaq, he was nothing on that Wade team. The MVP of the finals in that Miami Heat series was Dwayne Wade, not Shaquille O'Neal. Remember something. I did sports talk for 34 years. Don't talk shit to me. Rick Barry, one of the top 25 greatest players in NBA history, former MVP, finals MVP, world champion, is going to join us at 3:30. Also, Philly Godfather. You want to make some money? That's at 5:30. Rick's always great. Hey, Rick may tell me I'm crazy. He's done it before. I mean, he's done it before, man. Holy cow. I watched that guy last night. He reminded me of Jalen Hurts. And he reminded me of A.J. Owens last night. Be a leader, man, when it matters. Hey, SILZ, these guys are really good players. They're not leaders. They're not leaders. Jalen Hurts is not a leader. He portrays himself as one. Just because you're the quarterback of your football team doesn't mean you're a leader. And just because you're the MVP of your basketball team don't make you a leader either. Doesn't. You know who's a leader? Jimmy Butler. Brunson. Xander said something to me. You really think that Brunson is like a superstar? No. Do I think that Jimmy Butler's a superstar? No. But when it matters, they win. I saw Jimmy Butler take a G team and a G League team to the NBA Finals. Had no right being there. Twice. I mean, twice. Come on, man. Come on, man. Jalen Hurts looks like Embiid. Shit, I think the best leader in Philadelphia sports is the guy with the Phillies. He's your better leader than anybody in that town. And you know what I love the most is when you see the social media with some of the hosts defending Joel Embiid today. He puts up numbers that are not winning numbers. Tell me I'm wrong. He's 29-30 in the postseason. 29-30 in the postseason. That's legendary. That's legendary. 29-30. That's his record. Do you know that? He's 29-30. Can't get out of the opening round. That's right, man. Hey, Joel Embiid and Jalen Hurts have a lot in common. Weak leaders. Weak. Hey, man, my coordinator sucks, so I will. Oh, okay. Show some backbone, guy. A little bit. And by the way, too, last night, listening to the Knicks fans, how could you let that fan base roll into Philly? Do you understand something about New York fans? They're fair weather and delusional. There's not one fan base in that city who I grew up in that area that is legitimate. Only maybe the Yankee fans. Because the Yankee fans, like me, when I'm talking to Yankees, are delusional. But the one thing the Yankee fans do, they do this. Even if you win a World Series, it's never good enough. Because the expectations are incredible. Okay? Thanks for the $2 there, LJ. Appreciate it. I mean, yeah. Josh Allen. Keep comparing Josh Allen. Okay, Josh Allen, Joel Embiid win the same amount. Hey, your boy's also 2-3 in the postseason. Under 500. Greatness. Hey, my team sucks, so I will. Let me get going here, dog. Right. Hey, you're the only one and only people on the planet who think that guy is better. We're moving on here. As I said, Rick Barry will join us at 3:30. One of the legendary players of all time will join us. My career in the NFL was cut short because my defensive coordinator put whatever. Let's see here. The bar is really high with the Birds right now compared to other organizations. Mike, shouldn't it be? Mike, shouldn't it be? Or do you want to lower your bar to the Jets? Shouldn't it be? Right? Think about it too. You want to elevate your expectations to that level. It should be. SILZ, how did you feel when you saw your name on an NFL jersey? Honored? Humbled? That I'm one of the 24,000 men that have ever played in 104 years? SILZ, you know, and I both know Philly is a football and baseball town. Ownership needs to be fired. Trust the process was a scam. Q, yes. The guy's a carpetbagger. He don't give a shit about you. He doesn't. Sells tickets to Knicks fans and trying to hijack your passion for an arena downtown. Come on, man. That's not an owner who can't get out of the first round. And then sits there and makes constant decisions that are flawed when it came to personnel and leadership. That owner is everything that's wrong with Philly, which isn't a lot in sports. He's got to be the worst owner you've ever had in that city. That guy does not give a shit about winning. Look at Pat Riley and look what he does with Mickey Aronson's money. And look how he builds a team. You know, get this, everybody laughed, including me, when they hired Eric Spoelstra. I'm like, you hired a video guy to take over for Stan Van Gundy. Really? A video guy. But you knew what Riley knew? He's a basketball guy. He is the ultimate. You know, I think the number one thing the Lakers fucked up on, after Jerry West left Los Angeles with Mitch Kupchak, they should have threw everything they had at getting Riley into Los Angeles. They didn't do it, though. You know why? Because the Buss family thinks they know what's going on. After Jerry Buss died, they should have did everything then possible to get Pat Riley into Los Angeles, but they didn't. So look what he's done there. Pat Riley, Spoelstra's the best coach in the NBA. He's the best coach in the NBA. I mean, how many rings does Riley have? 4 as a head coach. 2 with the Heat, 6. 1 as a player, 7. 4 others in Los Angeles. He was 5-4 there. Gee, this guy must have 20 rings of conference and world championship rings. How do you not look at that and go, that guy knows what he's doing? Who's running the Sixers? Who's running the Sixers? Terrible. And you talk about, like you know, Xander said something too. You know, one thing about Philly, I was talking about Northeast people. I'm like, you know, hey, can't really bullshit anybody. That guy's bullshitting you. Sales leadership is a skill. Yes, you can be born with it, but you can also develop it over time. Brady and Jordan got better over time. Bob, it's true. You're right. It can be harnessed and developed. I've always said this, and this goes into any coach, and this is why Fredo Sirianni will never be one of those guys. What's the one thing that Pat Riley could do, and what's the one thing that Phil Jackson or even Belichick or any of these other guys can do? What was the biggest thing that he helped Brady with? You know what that was? Leadership. Brady had it in him, Bob. You're right. Belichick brought that out in him. Nobody ever in a million years would ever go like this. Phil Jackson can build a championship basketball team. He didn't build it in Los Angeles. Jerry West did with Kupchak. He couldn't do it in New York. But what was the one thing that he did great? Martin, think about it. He was the guy that was the circus leader that hauled all the dishes, and he was spinning the dishes because he knew exactly. And then what was the most important thing? And I'll give you, coach, NFL, any coach. What was the most important thing he laid upon Michael Jordan? Mike, if you want to win championships, you have to stop what you're doing. Can you imagine telling a scoring champion and somebody that was captivating a sport and a league and telling him what you're doing is wrong and buying into a G League coach like Phil Jackson had never coached. He was at the G League when they replaced him. I mean, he was down on the G League. When Doug Collins was replaced, he was a G League coach. Doug Collins was the coach that ended up taking over the Wizards because Jordan loved him. But guess what? He wasn't the right coach for him. Why? Because Phil laid it on him and told him, hey, you want to win? Distribute. We'll win titles. Trust me. And it worked. He told the same shit to Kobe. You got to make everybody else involved, son, or we're never going to win. Look at all the coaches that they had. Rudy went in there. Del Harris, all them guys. He rolled in there and said, Kobe, if you don't distribute the basketball and stop doing what you're doing, you're never going to win. The biggest thing that Belichick laid on Brady, you got to lead these men. You got to lead these men with conviction. That's the one thing Fredo Sirianni doesn't have. He can't lead with conviction because he doesn't have conviction. All the great coaches, you know, I love my conversations and my lunches with Pat Riley when I was in Miami. And I'd go over to his office, and then we'd go down to the deli right around the corner there at the AAA. And I told you guys, some of you guys know this story. I said, in game 6 in Boston, what did you write on that clipboard when the game was tied? And there's seconds left in the game to close out the Celtics, and the only team ever to close the Celtics out on their home floor. He wrote it down, and I've written it down to you guys. I said, what was the play you wrote? He goes, wasn't a play. I wrote down will. You have to will this. I sat there and I went, no wonder this guy's a winner. Pat Riley's one of my favorite sports people. Drafted by the Cowboys out of Kentucky. Played with the Lakers. Was a role guy. Pat Riley, can you imagine Pat Riley, Fredo Sirianni? My God almighty, it's blasphemy to even do that. Okay? I mean, that's leadership. I'll tell you what, last night that I got to tell you that reason that thing was close. Doc Rivers' team, and I agree with you now, Xander, Doc Rivers' team would have absolutely imploded. Nick Nurse kept that thing going. He's a good coach. He's a good coach, man. He is. I'll give him a lot of love, man. look at LJ. Sirianni stacking W's, and he'll be fired by the end of the year, win or lose. And he fought for his job. Winners don't fight for their jobs. Organizations fight for winners. I was reading stories about Sirianni in February and in March about how he was fighting for his job, fighting for W's in his job at the same time. Gee, that's a contradiction. You keep hanging your hat on a guy who's hanging on by a thread. Think about that. Of all the coaches in Philadelphia right now, whose job security is on the line the most? It's the guy who everyone in here, or not everyone, people in here are saying, hey, guess what? He puts up the W's. Why is he on the hot seat? Why is he the number one coach going into 2024 on the hot seat? That's right, Flexen. Because he has no job. That's right. All right. I did something here today, and this is post-draft. By the way, today, hey, I was hanging out a little bit with the Birds 365 guys in the chat room this morning. Yes, Andrew, that was Big SILZ. Some people try to replicate Big SILZ, but you can never duplicate Big SILZ. It's all good. And I was there. And I did say that, hey, Joel Embiid and Jalen Hurts are like a turtle. Leadership needed, they crawl in their shell. they crawl in their shell. Absolutely. I know the way you type. I knew it was your dumb. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Right? Okay. Sure. Yeah. Just like a turtle. Just like a turtle. Embiid and Hurts are like a turtle. Uh-oh. Leadership. Turtle Hurts. Joel and Turtle. Oh my God. Oh. I felt like I was watching a turtle last night. I did. Well, watching Embiid go into a shell, doing all that shit. So, hey, what I was doing was, I was like, I heard John say something about numbers. The numbers were handed out today to some of the rookie players. And numbers were handed out to guys who don't have numbers. Numbers are important. Not to media guys, because what would they know about numbers? I'll give you the significance of some of them. Let me just turn around and do this one. See this 63 for Leroy Selman? Back then, it wasn't fashionable to wear 90s. He wore 93 at Oklahoma. They didn't hand out 90s back in the 70s when he got his job. So he did the 6 instead. And I wore 93 because of him, because I met him when I was getting recruited by Oklahoma, and he was my idol, and that's the guy that I wanted to be like and play like, was that guy. Jerome Brown wore number 98. I told you this because of the highway that runs through Brooksville. And he upped it one because he wanted to change and make a new number because he was out of the state of Florida, and he wanted to do 99. A lot of guys do numbers, and those numbers are significant to people. So when you pick a number, it matters to you. That's why, you ever notice why guys pay big money for numbers? Because they matter to them. They matter to them. Big SILZ, happy Friday. That's why the Flyers are the only back-to-back champions in Philly history, because they had will, grit, toughness, and not to lose. 34, one of the greatest, hardest, unbelievably iconic teams in American sports history are those Flyer teams. In my opinion, they changed the way the NHL looks today because they gooned you, and you were never going to beat them in their barn. And the NHL goes, man, we can't have that. And that's why really the Oilers and the Islanders took off after that, because they changed the game on them. They changed it. Okay? I mean, They changed it. Massive character on that team. Tremendous leadership on that team. Unreal. All right. So as I said, they're going through and having a camp this weekend. Rookies will be there. Be a first time that you get a chance to put them out there. It's a light workout. It's nothing that's going to determine or dictate anything as we move forward here on determining what the starting 22 are going to look like. However, it's going to get a chance to get people together, and you're going to start getting an idea of what you're going to be asked to do as you get into the mini camps, the mandatory camps, and then obviously into the July 27th training camp. SILZ, how he panicked and removed Asai. It is possible that a bad as things got, they might have been worse. Kelsey, Lane, Fletch, now great coaching, and they were Knicks guys. Were they lying? Well, here's the thing, Bob, on all that. My problem is with Jason Kelsey, Brandon Graham. I have a huge problem with those guys and Fletcher Cox. If you love those guys, if you love that coach so much, why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? You love him after the fact? I don't buy it. And I think it's not genuine. Jason Kelsey backing penalties that you got back to back because you lost your focus in games, Jason. I mean, you tell somebody you love them and you run out of gas and you stop playing for them. I don't make excuses for people here. They flat out quit. That was a team of quitters. Unless you saw something different. Oh, yeah, I know. Shitty coaching. Pathetic. Isn't that funny? They're blaming Darvin Ham now in Los Angeles because of whatever. Darvin Ham took that team to the NBA Western Conference Finals a year ago, but all of a sudden he sucks. It's not the player's fault or Jalen's fault or the defense's fault. It's the coach's fault. Okay. In your case, what's sad is you don't have a coach. He's some sort of like doorman or some sort of like doorman at a strippers club, or a parking attendant. That's who Fredo Sirianni is to me, like a parking attendant. I mean, he's not qualified to be a head football coach. Just not qualified. As they do this, we are now we wrote down 10 things that, here's my questions, and let's answer them. We'll answer them together here. Okay? Let's start here. Post-draft for the Eagles. Big SILZ questions as we go into camps now. How many days are we out to, by the way? How many days is it until July 27th? You know how you guys kept telling me it's early? And remember that one last year, Xander, how funny that was? Hey, man, remember how funny that was? It's week 1. It's week 2. It's week 3. SILZ, you're overreacting. It's week 4. We're 10-1. And I went, you suck. You're not that good. I was saying that at 10-1. Finally, Seth came around midway through the season and said, that team's not real. Well, I was one telling you that since New England. Since New England. They're not that good. How many days until July 27th?
July 27th, 2024 is in 85 days.
Okay, so July 27th is in 85 days. So we're less than 3 months out to the start of the NFL season training camp. That's early. Hey, it's early, SILZ. You're less than 3 months. Think about that. You're less than 3 months away from going to training camp. Hopefully, you got your team together. Hopefully. Captain Keegan couldn't have been more impressive. Ninja at his press conference today. I love that kid. I love that kid, Trevor Keegan. Man, I do. I love that kid. Hey, it's my kind of guy right there. I love that kid. I do. Kyle goes, Sil's the linebacker room. Worries you, really? All right. William goes, Sills, tell us what training camp's like. No, I can't. William, I can't. It's different. It's not what it was. We did 3 days, 3-hour practices. The Eagles have a tea party, sit under a beach umbrella, drink Mai Tais, and then Nick calls camp, or they'll call practice an hour before, and they only go out there for 20 minutes. Get a good sweat up, get a good lather up, and they're back in their barn. They don't really work hard. They take their beach towels, and they go out to the NovaCare Center, then, put their little helmets on and run around and then get back into the locker room. It's not what it used to be. Now, again, I do think they do more work now, and it's more 24/7 and 12 months of the year than it was back in the day. So you really don't have any time off like you used to. So what position do you think the Eagles make a trade for? I'm not sure. Okay? I'm not sure. Okay? I'm not. All right, here's my questions. Post-draft for Big Sills when it comes to the Eagles. Here's my questions. Who plays right guard? I think that was a problem last year. I think Cam Jurgens was okay. I don't think he was great. That position has not been replaced since Isaac Seumalo left for Pittsburgh. Who plays it? I don't think Steen's good enough to play it. I'm hoping Keegan gets the job. Or Becton. You hear what Phil Simms said about him yesterday? Man, I'm more – get this. That might be Howie Roseman's best move is getting Becton in there. If that kid is everything Phil Simms says he is, and I believe Phil, wow, I was floored on what Phil Simms said about him. He goes, Dan, this guy's the guy. And I'm telling you, with Jeff Stoutland, working with that guy, I think Howie Roseman got himself a gigantic winner. So you got Keegan and Becton playing right guard. I hope that's how that thing works out. I would love to see those two guys working at that position. Okay? Hey, by the way, that's great. Listen, guys, do me a favor. We did it really great yesterday. I asked you for 200 likes. We almost got it up to 250. Can we try it on a Friday for 300 likes? Please, I'd love to end the week on 300 likes. Thank you so much, man. Let's see if we can roll that there and see if we can get 300. We're at 40 right now. 300. We ended up going over 300, but I wanted during the live part. So let's see if we can get it during the live part. 300 likes today. Really helped the show out a lot. Thank you guys so much, man. You got my like, Mr. International. Thank you. You know what, too, Mr. International? Not only do we have your like, but we're privileged to have your attention. Thank you so much. Denny, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So, right guard position. Thank you very much, Escape. Appreciate it. Thank you, too, CJ. Keegan. Did Keegan get 70? What did he get? Did he get 77? I thought he got 79. I thought he got 79. I think he got 79. I think he got number 79, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I'll die for the birds. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I think he got number 79. I like that. Hey, Becton and Keegan patrolling the right guard position. I'd like to see those two guys. Look at Eagle fan. Hey, SILZ, I left a like for now. Let me see how the show goes. Yeah. SILZ, the competition is Keegan versus Juergens. No, Juergens is the center, man. Juergens is going to start at center. The backup's going to be Hennessy, the guy they got from Atlanta backing him up, and the kid they got from NC State are going to be the backup for center, and that guy may be the third right guard. That's how I see that thing working out. Okay? Thank you, Prince. Prince, it's awesome. See, Prince is a dickhead too to me, but I love him. Along with LJ. Some of you probably think it's not true. It's like Shaq and Barkley. You know what I'm saying, LJ? It's like Shaq and Barkley. I don't hate the guy at all. What would I do without him? I gave a dislike just to be different. Okay. Juergens is center. I think McMahon will be center too. I think that guy Hennessy's probably going to be more. Well, you're not as funny as Barkley. Sorry, dude. No, you're not. You're not. You're more like Kenny Smith. You're more like Kenny. Think we should start Rodgers and Mitchell. Let's see what Rodgers looks like. Let me get to my questions. So, who do you want to see playing that? I want to see Trevor Keegan. And no, listen, I want to see Becton in the starting lineup, but I love Keegan. I really do. But I want to see Becton turn his career around. But I would not be upset with either guy starting. If Phil Simms is right, and Becton came here because he wanted to be coached, he came here to be coached by your coach. He could have went anywhere, but he wanted to be coached by Jeff Stoutland. That says a lot. All right. Question number 2. Post-draft, getting ready for the mini camps and obviously in 87 days training camp. How fast do you think it's going to take for the players to pick up Kellen Moore's offense? And what's this thing going to look like? I mean, how fast do they pick it up? What exactly is going to be different from last year? What do they want to get accomplished? Spreading the ball out more? Now you're asking the quarterback to be a guy that has to read defenses. Jalen Hurts is not a very good reader of defenses. So now you're asking him to do something that's not a strong skill set of his. How much time is that going to take? I'm not saying you can't develop better skill set on that. Brady worked on it all the time. He worked on it all the time. Mahomes is saying he's still learning. I mean, it's not a rip. How many times have you heard Patrick Mahomes say, "Hey, I'm still learning"? Didn't you remember what Michael Vick said? Hey, man, I wish I did more studying when I was a younger player, because when I got to Andy Reid, I really didn't know what it was about reading defenses. I had no idea what it was about when it came to reading defenses. You know, the one thing that the RPO does protect quarterbacks from? You don't have to be a quarterback to read defenses, because it's a run-pass option. It's in the hands of the quarterback, and he makes a decision whether to throw it, run it. You know? It's his option. So you're not really reading anything. It's a one-read pass. Run-pass option's a one-read offense. It's not a progression reading drop back offense. That's why do you understand that's why he thrived in that? You get it, right? You understand that. And I'm not saying that Jalen can't pick that up. JM, think about it. The RPO is a one-read offense, right? Is he open? Yes. He's not? Take it. Run. That's why it's called run pass option. But when you're asking a guy to sit back, all of a sudden the pressure and blitzing starts to come more like it did in the playoff game against the Buccaneers and towards the end of the season, and they know he's trying to throw the ball, and he's not sure of his pass routes, and he's not sure of the offense. You're asking him to read and find the open guy. He couldn't find it. How many times did I say to you in that Seattle game, why didn't he throw to Devontae Smith, who was the wider open guy, versus a double-teamed A.J. Brown? Why? Because they told him where to throw the ball. It's a college offense that he was running last year. So, again, circle back. What is Kellen Moore's offense going to look like with Hurts? What exactly are you asking him to do? I still don't know. Are we supposed to take – now, would we not agree if we're going to look at game film of how he runs an offense, would you not look at Dak? So take the postseason away, and let's look at what he did for 5 years in Dallas. Oh, Swaggy, that's really nice. Thank you, man. On this Friday, thank you. How good can Vic use the corners, by the way? What's up? I'm high. I'm here. How good can Vic use the corners? By the way, I got that in the question here, and I'll answer that. I promise you. I think that's a great question. Hey, get this, Swaggy. I think that's a question more than what how will he? He didn't do a great job with the Miami, Xavier Howard, and with Jalen Ramsey. They complain mightily about him. Complain mightily. Guys, please hit the like button. We're trying to get to 300. Thank you guys so much, man. All right. So, hey, Sills, I heard Keegan was an Eagles fan, so it might drive him more with his talent. What it will do is, instead of being a mercenary, it'll make him a guy who feels part of the community. Okay? Let's see here. How good can Vic use the corners? By the way, what's up? I'm here. How you doing? Okay. Thank you very much, Swaggy. That was awful cool of you, man. Guys in Miami are freelancers at cornerback. I see why they were upset. They're zone guys. I mean, no, they're press guys, not zone guys. Howard and Ramsey are press corners. They're not center fielders. They're not. All right, here. How will Jalen use Barkley? Not Kellen Moore. How many people think Jalen Hurts is going to use Saquon Barkley to this skill set of being a dual threat running back like McCaffrey? How many people believe that? Well, Joseph, you do? He hasn't in 3 years used his backs in the passing game. Why do you think now? I mean, why do you think now that he's going to? Look at Jan. There's no such thing as press corners. Dude, this guy doesn't understand the terminology on every team. A zone and man. Okay? Press cover corner is a guy who lines up on the line of scrimmage 5 yards off the ball and presses the receivers off the line. A zone receiver stands 10 yards off. So that guy right there just doesn't understand because he plays wiffle ball in his backyard with his buddies drunk, and he plays flag football. Okay, so he has no idea what he's talking about. Zero. That guy's never heard of press coverage. Okay, guy, I'm not going to debate that with you. There's no such thing as, you hear what that guy said? There's no such thing as press corners versus zone corners. Maybe in his beer league. Hey, maybe in his beer league. You know those guys running around in thongs all day? Hey, get this. That's a guy that does this kind of stuff. Yeah, man, when I was in senior year of high school, man, I hurt my knee and, I was honorable mention all city. And, I would have made it to the pros and would have been drafted. But hey, it just wasn't in the cards for me. So, I had to go to junior community college and, play against Rancho Cucamonga. And the coach didn't like me, so I didn't make the team, and, he cut me on Rancho Cucamonga. And then I had to go to Costa County, and then I had to go to Nassau County Community College. And, I played there for a little bit, but the coach hated me there too. And, then, I ended up playing senior football on Sundays. That's the guy at the bar that comes up to you and goes, hey, I was like, honorable mention, like all city. What city was that? Hoboken. Hey, man, I was honorable mention at Hoboken Community College. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, that guy right there is the town crier. Silio's being mean again. That sounds like some of you in here too. Town crier. Hey, Joel Embiid's a town crier. Why is everybody being mad? How come everybody being in Philadelphia doesn't like me? Because you're soft. I think we need to use Saquon as a 3-down back like McCaffrey and Jalen throw the ball less. I think that too, Swaggy. Dude, if him and Lamar Jackson, okay, him and Lamar Jackson have to throw the ball 40 times in a game, you'll never win. You'll never win. Okay? Don't knock wiffle ball and beer sills. If you can hit a ball 50 beers deep, that takes skill. Touche. Hey, I love wiffle ball, man. Wiffle ball and bocce ball. Absolutely. CJ Stroud attended Rancho Cucamonga High School. The question is Hurts' ability to make in-game adjustments and read when teams stack the box with Barkley. Happy Friday, Sills Hollywood. Happy Friday to you too, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. All go to the front, as you guys know. Okay? The only way to use Saquon is to abuse him. I get what you mean. I get what you mean, Mike. Run him till the wheels fall off, right? Damn, wow, Crowley got a wrench. Holy cow. Crowley's moving up now. Yes, sir. Sills, how long before Bradbury's cut? We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Yeah, hey, Crowley. Crowley, here, get this. Ready? Hold on here. Crowley shows love on all JAKIB shows. Top tier subscriber. This is what we just did with Crowley. Ready? This is what we just did with Crowley here. Ready? Okay. You vow you will never portray Big Sills in JAKIB Sports. You may talk shit to us. You may go after us in some of our takes, but you will be a loyal subscriber. We only open the books a few times for a few people. Don't be like LJ and get shot in the head. Don't be like LJ. Oh no! And get shot in the head. Congratulations. You're made and you didn't get whacked. Not that I've ever taken that. You are now in the mafia family known as Cosa Nostra JAKIB Sports. This is a family next to the Profaci family, the Scarfo family, the Gambino family. You are now in the JAKIB Sports Big SILZ mafia family. Take your vow. Right. Right? Don't get whacked. Grab the coffee pot. Go. I'm kidding. Put it down. What are you, nuts? The Bonanno family. You know what the problem with the Bonanno family, Mr. International? They moved to Arizona. That's truth. That's truth. They moved to Arizona. Here we go. All right. Next. How about, I think this is a good thing to have here. Okay? This is a good thing to have. Swaggy's on the wretch list after that savage super chat. Hey, holy cow. The guys downtown are opening up the books today, it looks like. People may be getting made today. So, hey, maybe on Fridays what we do is we open the books. If you're good during the week, you don't have to suck up. Please don't ever suck up to me. Or you'll get your wrench taken from you. Don't ever suck up. Because you know what the problem is? I'm an asshole. I don't need you to be. You could be that rear end to me. That's what we're looking for here. Okay? What are you doing letting... you know what we're doing nowadays, Q? We're opening up the books to everyone. You just don't have to be a complete 100% paisan. We're kind of opening it up because I look at Philly and I go like this. Well, the brothers are related to Italians. The Irish guys came in, and the mix came in with the Italians on the boat when we saw like the statue and stuff. We were in the same place, Ellis Island. Brothers and mix and Italians, we're all kind of the same. We're all related. That's how I look at it. I'm not kidding. I do. Hey, if you're an immigrant, dude, this is what I tell you all the time. You know that stuff that happened like in 1860s in America? That shit had nothing to do with me. My family's from Italy. I have nothing to do with you. I have nothing. Oh, okay. Whitey Bulger, you're dropping, JM? Holy cow, he's a Boston guy. Go sit on Mark Holmes's wrench. Oh, LJ. Don't worry about it, princess. You're working on it. You kidding me, honey? You're one of my favorites. You're not quite a captain, but you're a soldier. Yeah. Some guys are made to be soldiers, and some guys are made to be captains. Who do you think you are? How you doing? All right. This is a good problem to have. Okay? Where will Cooper DeJean play? Where will he play? How about this one? Think of where you can get him on the field quicker. Safety or corner? Howie said he's not a safety. What would Howie know about safeties and corners? Senor, how would Howie know that? When's he drafted one? How would he know that? Let Vic handle that. How would he know that? He's an analytics guy. He's not a personnel guy. How would he know that? I personally don't think he's a corner. I think he's a safety. And Senor goes, Sills, he read it in his CPA book. Watch out, Senor. Okay, watch out there, man. What? You call him a CPA? Did you really? Watch out, man. You get a harshly worded letter from the Eagles calling you anti-Semitic. You get a harshly worded word. So watch out there, guy. A harshly worded letter. So be careful there, my friend. Be careful. Let's see here, making out. Yep, all right, good. Let's see here. Facts, Big Sills. Play the clip of AJ crying again. Slot corner would be the fastest position for Cooper. That's what I'm trying to do. Get him on the field, man. Get him on the field. Right. Get him on the field. I say you got to play him at safety, or you kind of like, hey, you know what I want him to do? I want him to beat Gardner Johnson out by the end of the year. That's my goal for Cooper DeJean. I don't want Gardner Johnson on my team. I don't. I think he's a malcontent. And I don't forgive him for what he said last year. He's a bullshit artist. He took a shit all over you guys. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm really glad to be back now. And, he took a shit on the Lions fans out the door, too. He's not genuine. He's a shit talker that wears his welcome out. So let me get this right. How many years? Hey, how many years has that guy been in the league? How many years has Gardner Johnson been in the league? Curious. How many years has he been in the league? I'm just curious. He's been in the league 6 or 7 years. 6 or 7 years, and he's been traded. Saints, Eagles, Lions, Eagles. And in the last 2 years or 3 years, he's been traded 3 times. This is his 5th year, so he's been traded or free agent, what have you. He's been on separate teams. He's been on the Eagles twice and the Lions once in the last 3 years in a 5-year career. I don't know. What do you think the problem is? His attitude? I hope he beats him out. He did get traded once to the Eagles. Then they let him walk out in free agency. How about this one? Number 5. Jalen Hurts. Will he be a better leader in adversity? I don't need Jalen Hurts to be a leader when you're winning. I need Jalen Hurts to be a leader when things go sideways. He has shown me he has not shown any ability to get his team out of trouble. Hey, things look great when he's great. Things look awful when he's awful. Like, he doesn't elevate himself. And you're going to go, well, coaching. Well, elevate above it. Rise above. And if you don't like something, say it. Your $50 million gives you that autonomy. Hey, I don't like the play calling. And get this. Do me a favor this year, Jalen. Do me one favor. Don't clarify any of your comments after games. If you feel that way, stand behind your words. Don't give me a different conversation on Wednesday because the Eagles want you to walk something back. That's a sign of weakness. Have conviction is maybe what I'm saying. CJ's a baller with attitude. Love him as on my team rather than DBs who refuse to tackle or being soft. Well, we'll see if he can stay on a team more than 1 year. So let's just do this. Again, like I said, like that 1-7 stretch run, he was pathetic. I'd like to see him rise above. Pathetic in that Bucks game, too. I mean, terrible. Be a better leader in adversity. And don't walk your comments back. Yeah, I thought Jalen's comments after that one game when he goes play calling, what was that? The accountability of players not putting all in, and he went after some people not working hard. And then by Wednesday, he had to walk that thing back. Remember that? He had to walk it back. Don't walk that shit back. Hold your guns on it. Number 6. What happens to Bradbury? What are they going to do with him? Are you going to eat the cap? Or are you going to keep him and keep him for depth? And with Vic back, do you put him back in his normal role? Does he go back to 22? Because Vic's the coach? Or do you cut him? What do you do with Bradbury? That's me. I cut him. And I'll eat the cap. I'll cut him. I would cut him. Cut ties. Move on. Do we think Lurie meant he wants Hurts to have conviction and take control of the reins? It was kind of vague. We will see. Q, yeah. I don't want any vagueness. Tell the guy, hey, show conviction out there. Conviction is leadership, not waffling. I'm cutting that guy, Bradbury, June 1. I'm cutting the dude. I'm not, you can't play games here. Number 7. Do you have enough depth at DT? You think the Eagles have enough depth at defensive tackle? I don't. I think they got to get more depth in there. Who's their swing tackle? Oh, wait. They're in a 34. How about their 3 linemen? You think there's enough depth? Who's backing up Josh Sweat? Who's backing up Milton Williams? Who's backing up Jordan Davis? Who are these guys? And the guys they have on the roster? I mean, it's not Linville Joseph and Adama Sue. I think you need more depth in there. Maybe June 1. By the way, I got a list of some people we might be interested in. I think you need more depth at the defensive line. What's number 8? What's the relationship between Kellen Moore and Fredo Sirianni going to be? What do you think that's going to look like if things go sour? Is Nick going to want to save his job? Let me ask you something here. You think Nick Sirianni is going to sit back if Kellen Moore is absolutely a train wreck and Jalen Hurts got 5 or 6 turnovers in the first 4 games? And he's going to sit there and he's going to just allow the ship to go down and have him take him down with no control of your own career? How many people in their right mind would allow someone else to get you fired? Can you imagine showing up to work and you have no control over anything, but the guy next to you has more control over your job status than you do, no matter what you do? You think you're going to sit there? Human nature is going to make you be protective. I mean, you have no control of your own destiny. So my question is, what's that relationship going to look like? We saw what happened last year. Nick fired Desai, or Nick, Howie, and Jeffrey fired him. Get this, to this one guy down here, that's not what if. They did that last year when they were 10-1 and they did it. They were 10-1, 10-2, and they fired a guy who beat Vic, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Vikings, the Rams. That's not what if. They did that. You think Nick's going to sit around and go, interesting. Number 9, maybe the most important. About time, huh, Barb? Tired of 10-1? Kind of looks stupid now, doesn't it, Barb? Remember all those people all day long putting 10-1 up on my board, 9-1, 8-1, 8-0, 7-0, 9-0, calling me an asshole because remember that? I was like, they keep putting it up there. Don't mean shit. Never did. Will Vic Fangio and his 34 fix the Eagle defense? Do you not think that's probably the biggest question we can have in the offseason here? Right? Will the 34 fix the defense? Will it? Please, guys, hit the like button here. And finally, number 10. Help me out here. What's Nick Sirianni's actual role on this team going into the mini camps and training camp? What's his role, you think? I haven't been able to figure it out. So, who plays right guard? How fast will it take for the players to pick up Kellen Moore's system? How will Jalen use Saquon Barkley? Where will Cooper DeJean play? Hurts being a better leader in adversity. What happens to Bradbury June 1? Do the Eagles have enough depth at DT? I don't think so. The relationship between Kellen Moore and Fredo. Will Vic's 34 fix the Eagle defense? And what exactly is Nick Sirianni's role? The only thing I could think Nick has a role is call timeouts and decide to go for it on 4th down. So clock management. Think about that, what Senor just said. Probably, Senor, 2 minutes to the half, 2 minutes to the end of the game, and dealing with the timeouts. Shit. That means this. That guy's in control of part of the 2 biggest parts of the game. Going into half and end a ball game. No matter what Kellen Moore does, they can still screw it up. Rick Barry's going to join us. And we will talk about Snowflake Embiid. I bet he loves him. I think he loves Joel Embiid. I do. I think he loves it. Rick's been on numerous times. We love talking with him. We have an expert, one of the top 25 players in the history of the sport. Also, Philly Godfather and players not named Hurts that Big Silz wants to step up here in 2024. We're going to do that. Also, a list of free agents that I think will be casualty hits on June 1. Lot left here. Rick Barry's going to join us. Hit the like button. Keep it here. National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.